Today, we're going to dive into a trading method that claims to pull back the curtain on what really makes the market tick. We're going to set aside all the usual indicators for a minute and go looking for something much more fundamental, the actual footprints of big money. So where do we even begin?
It all starts with this one simple idea. Seriously, forget about complex chart patterns. Forget about all those indicators you've got layered on your screen. This entire approach boils everything down to one thing: the flow of money. The thinking is, if you can learn to read the orders, you can figure out what the market is actually trying to do.
So you've really got two completely different ways of looking at a chart. On one hand, you have the conventional wisdom. Looking for patterns, watching lagging indicators like the RSI or the MACD. This methodology would call all of that just the effect. But on the other hand, this order-based view says, no, focus on the cause. And the cause is always the order flow, the clues left behind by the big institutions. Our job is just to learn how to spot.
And that brings us right to the market's real engine. To really get this method, we have to start with the one thing that supposedly powers the entire system.
So what even is an order in this world? Well, it's just the money that's in the market. And we're not just talking about your little buy or sell click. We're talking about the huge pools of money from banks and institutions. And get this, even what the source material calls fake orders. Orders put there specifically to trap retail traders. All of that money, all of those orders together, that is the only force that actually pushes the price up or down. Okay, so if it's all about orders, how in the world do we actually see that on a price chart? Well, let's get into the basic language this methodology uses to break it all down.
It really just comes down to three simple building blocks. First, you have what's called a pull. That's just any sharp, aggressive move, doesn't matter if it's up or down. Next, the price bases. It kind of pauses, goes sideways, and just catches its breath. This is where the market is making a decision. And finally, you have the flag. And the flag is super important. It's the last base before a big decision is made, like whether to keep the trend going or turn it all around.
And this right here, this is a total shift in how you look at a chart. That big, exciting pull, that huge candle, it isn't the main event. According to this, it's just the travel time. The real points of interest, the destinations, are the flags. The whole idea is that price is always just moving from one of these decision zones to the next one.
All right, so if price is just zipping between these flags, how do we know which ones actually matter? Let's move on, because now we're looking for a very specific clue, a clue that the big money leaves behind.
And that clue is called an FTR. It stands for failure to return. So imagine price smashes through a really big important level. The theory says that market makers should bring the price back to where that breakout started to, pick up their remaining orders. But when they're so confident in a move that they fail to return, they leave a footprint. That zone they leave behind becomes an FTR. Let's walk through it. First, the market sets up a key level. You can just think of a classic support or resistance line. Then, price just completely engulfs it. It blows right through. But here is the part that matters. It doesn't look back. It fails to come back to the spot where that whole move began. That area it abandoned, that's your FTR zone. It's a potential sign of huge institutional commitment. But here's the thing. Not all FTRs are created equal. Not even close. So what makes one special? Well, that leads us to maybe the single most important concept in this entire method, the key that unlocks the really high probability zones. This is the flag limit. Now, this might sound a little weird at first, so stick with me. A flag limit is basically a validated FTR. In this case, after price breaks a level, the market makers do bring the price back, intentionally, right back to that decision point. You might ask, why would they do that? Well, to confirm their move, to validate that price zone, and to swap out their orders. It's that deliberate return trip that turns a simple clue into a powerful, high-conviction setup. And this quote from the source material just nails it. Every single flag limit has to start out as an FTR, but only a very, very small number of FTRs will ever get validated and become a flag limit. It creates a really clear food chain of what's important. And this really helps you see the concept. You're going to see countless FTRs all over your charts.
these areas where price just took off and never looked back. But the number of true, tradable flag limits, the ones that get that special return trip for validation, is tiny in comparison. So the whole game, according to this method, is learning to ignore all that noise and focus only on these confirmed high-value zones.
Okay, so how do we actually put these puzzle pieces together into something useful? Let's bring it all home and see how these concepts build a map that you can actually follow in the market.
Once you've spotted two opposing flag limits, let's say you have one up high acting as supply and one down low acting as demand, the space between them has a name. It's called the price action zone, or PAZ. And that, right there, that's your map. The theory is that price is now basically trapped and will just travel from the edge of one of these institutional zones to the other.
And having this map helps us understand why certain classic chart patterns work. Take the Quasimodo pattern, for example. The sources are really clear on this. The pattern itself isn't magic. It works because that Quasimodo level very often lines up perfectly with an institutional order block, a flag limit. So your entry is at that level, and your target? It's the opposing flag limit on the other side of your price action zone. The pattern is just what you see. The order flow is what's actually happening.
So what's the potential payoff of looking at the market this way? A 50% return. On the account, that was the result of a single trade shown in the source material. Now, of course, that is not a guarantee, not by a long shot, but it's used to demonstrate the incredible power of trading from these confirmed high-probability zones when you get it right.
So the big takeaway is this. Maybe stop hunting for patterns and start trying to read the story of the money. By figuring out where the institutions have really put their capital on the line at those flag limits, you might just be able to map out their intentions. So I'll leave you with this one question. If your chart is telling a story of orders, what story is it telling you right now? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.